Another attack in our country's history. Get this. A group of students at Hofstra University on Long Island, where one of the debates took place, by the way, want a statue of Thomas Jefferson removed. Why? An online petition reads like this. Jefferson's values aided in the construction of institutionalizing of racism and justified the subjugation of black people in the United States. But not all students are supportive of taking the statue down. Joining us right now to discuss it are campusreform.org correspondents and Hofstra students, Kostulias and Malcom McCoy. Malcom, let's start with you. Yes, how big a deal is this on campus?
Apparently, I think it's a big deal to the people that are only trying to protest this, but I have a lot of professors and a lot of friends who are against protests. They think it's a silly thing. There's a lot of great things that Thomas Jefferson has done, and these people that are protesting are only looking at a very small portion of history and trying to remove it based off of that.
As you as an African American, are you offended?
No, sir. I mean, I understand that slavery was an issue even before this country came to be about. And I think that, you know, you have to look at a bigger picture than what's being presented right here. I mean, slavery is still an issue, and I think it's an ugly stain on human history. But if you're really adamant about protesting against slavery, there's places where it's still going on, like Libya or, you know, other countries. Why aren't they taking a stand against those places?
Chris, I mean, there's going to be a turnout. You know, they've been taking statues down around the country, mostly Confederate statues. Does Thomas Jefferson matter on the campus of Hofstra University?
Yeah, it does matter. I mean, there's a very big difference between active traitors to the Union, Confederate leaders, and one of our founding fathers, Thomas Jefferson. I mean, when I first heard about the effort to take down the statue, I honestly thought it was a joke until I found out it wasn't. I mean, Thomas Jefferson, yes, he was a slaveholder, but they're not putting it into historical context, and they're not acknowledging, while, yes, he did some bad things, he also did some really good things, like craft the Bill of Rights, which, ironically, they're using to try and take down the statue.
Right.
The First Amendment.
Yeah, more the Declaration of Independence, and, of course, we know his institution, what he did in the University of Virginia, Vice President, First Secretary of State, and two-term president as the third overall. So, Malcom, does it bother you that people aren't prideful of our past, that we're looking back at these people and say if they're not perfect, they should be ridiculed or marginalized? Yeah,
I think you really need to look at the big picture here, and I thank God for organizations like No Apology Broadcast or campusreform.org for allowing us to, you know, speak on this topic. I really think that, you know, it's something that you really need to get a. You have to get a real grip on the history of this nation.
Yeah, it seems like people are running from it and being divisive about it. Hofstra University said this: Hofstra supports our students' right to engage in peaceful demonstrations about issues that matter to them. We look forward to a continuing civil exchange of ideas and perspectives on the subject. Now, we know what's happening in New Orleans. We have a mayor there who wants to run for president because of it. Final thought, Chris. How big a deal is it? Do you expect the statue to come down?
Yeah, Campus Reform has been reporting all over the country of efforts to erase our national history. I am not sure at this point that Hofstra administration is going to take down the statue. One of the problems with the petition to take it down is that anyone can sign it. You don't have to be part of Hofstra to sign it. Same thing with the counter petition. A lot of students are planning to go to the protest this Friday and express their dissenting opinion. I hope that the statue stays up.
I do too. They'll lose a lot of enrollment if they take it down. Guys, thanks so much. Hey, I got to tell you, part 2 of Legends and Lies, this series.